So, what is consciousness? I mean, really, it's one of life's biggest mysteries, right? But what if I told you that thousands of years ago, a super detailed map of our inner world was already drawn up? Well, today we're going to explore that exact guide, the Vedic Map of the Mind. Let's dive in.
And let's start with a question for you right now. As you're listening to my voice, as thoughts are popping into your head, who is the one that's aware of all that? Who's the one watching? That question, that's the doorway to this whole thing.
You know, for all our amazing scientific progress, we still can't really explain how we have subjective experiences. In fact, modern science literally calls it the hard problem. But here's the thing. The ancient Vedic texts in India came at it from a totally different angle. They didn't see it as a problem to solve, but as a territory to explore. And this is the map they came up with, a journey through 7 pretty distinct levels of awareness. We're going to start with the reality we all know and travel all the way up to some truly profound states of being. So, first, we'll cover the 3 levels that we all cycle through every single day. The thing is, we experience them constantly, but we almost never stop to actually understand what they are. All right, first up is waking consciousness, or Jagrat. This is our default mode. It's the state you're in this very second, listening, thinking, aware of the room you're in. It's the me we're all most familiar with. In this state, our awareness is completely turned outward. We're busy thinking about the future, reacting to the present, planning what's next. We get really caught up identifying with our bodies, our thoughts, our jobs. I'm a parent, I'm an employee. And this has a clear signature in the brain, lots of high-frequency beta waves. They're great for getting things done, for sure, but they're also the reason our attention feels so fragmented and scattered all day long. And then, of course, there's dreaming consciousness, or svapna. In this state, the outside world just fades away and our mind creates its own reality from scratch. It's this incredible inner world of symbols, feelings, and just total creativity. A completely different state of being, but just as real while it's happening. And then we have deep sleep, or sushupti. Now this one is fascinating. There are no thoughts, no dreams, no sense of I. You'd think it's just a total blank, right? Nothingness. But think about it. When you wake up, you know you slept well. So how do you know that? It's because some subtle, quiet awareness was still there, even when your thinking mind was completely offline. Okay, so those 3 states, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, they just kind of happen to us. But this map says they're just the ground floor. To go any higher, we have to start a conscious journey inward. And this brings us to the 4th state, transcendental consciousness. This is considered the pivot point, the gateway to all the higher states. And it's not about thinking better thoughts. It's about going beyond thought entirely. Here's an analogy. Imagine your mind is an ocean. All your thoughts, your worries, your ideas, they're just the waves on the surface. This 4th state is the experience of the deep, silent, peaceful water that lies beneath all that commotion. It's just pure, quiet awareness itself. What's really cool is how different fields all seem to point to the same thing. Spiritually, it's called experiencing your true self. From a neuroscience perspective, it has a very specific signature. The brain is deeply restful, but also wide awake, showing these beautifully coherent alpha waves. It's even got a parallel in quantum physics. It's like touching the unified field, the silent source from which all of reality springs. But here's the crucial part. Experiencing that inner silence isn't the end goal. The real game changer is when you start to integrate that deep calm and stability into your busy, active, everyday life. And that leads us directly to the 5th state, which is called cosmic consciousness. This is where that inner silence from the 4th state isn't just a temporary dip anymore. It becomes a permanent, stable feature of your reality, coexisting with everything you do, whether you're awake, dreaming, or in deep sleep. So, what does this feel like? Well, you basically become the silent observer of your own life. There's still traffic, there are still deadlines, there's still drama, but there's this inner core of peace that just remains untouched by it all. You're fully engaged in life, but you're not lost in the chaos. Your sense of self actually shifts from being your changing thoughts to being the unchanging awareness behind them. Now, once you're established in that inner stability, something else amazing starts to happen. Your actual perception of the world begins to get more and more refined. This brings us to the 6th state, God consciousness. And listen, this has nothing to do with religion or belief. It's about a fundamental upgrade in how you literally see the world.
See, this is about direct perception, not just thinking something is true. You start to directly perceive the incredible intelligence and order in everything. Nature feels vibrantly alive. Beauty looks almost sacred. And this deep, unattached love for everything just naturally bubbles up from within.
All right, so we've climbed pretty high on our journey up this map. And now we've reached the final summit, the absolute peak of human potential as described by these ancient texts.
The seventh and final state is unity consciousness, and it can be summed up in this one incredible, mind-bending statement. The observer and the observed are one. The boundary that we all feel between me and here and the world out there, it just dissolves.
So what does that actually mean? It means you realize that the observer, your own awareness, is actually made of the exact same stuff as the universe you're observing. The tree outside, the sky, other people. You see it all as just different waves on the single unified ocean of consciousness. You don't just feel part of the universe, you experience yourself as the universe. So after that incredible journey from our scattered daily thoughts all the way to cosmic unity, the big question is, why does this ancient map matter to us right here, right now? Because this isn't just some cool, abstract philosophy. It is a practical roadmap for personal development. Practices like meditation, well, they're the vehicle that's designed to take you on this journey. They systematically help you shift from that scattered, fragmented attention of the waking state to more unified, whole states of awareness. This map gives context to our inner lives and shows us the incredible potential for growth that lies inside every single one of us.
And that brings us full circle, right back to where we started, with you. With this map now in your mind, just for a moment, check in. Beyond the thoughts, beyond the screen, who is the one watching? And what is the nature of their world?